think we're on. Hi everyone, if you're already set up, if you're not, then take your time. We've got about 4 minutes or so before we begin our practice tonight. Philip says I'm on and I'm the right way up. That's progress. So if you are starting to settle into your practice tonight, we're going to begin seated. So just find yourself a comfortable seated position, and if you're in your own space, use a cushion, a chair, the sofa, whatever is most comfortable for you. We're going to start with a bit of an opening meditation before we move into quite a gentle practice tonight, because I don't know if you've noticed it's quite hot outside. So not the evening to be doing a lot of yang dynamic poses, I don't feel. So just some gentle stretches, a few of the ones we did last week, and then a few extra opening up. We're not going to do some sun salutations tonight. I suspect you might be warm enough already. And then ending with quite a few minutes of relaxation and a bit of a meditation to calm and settle us. Often when it is hot, even without a lot of exercise, we have an excess of kind of heat and energy in the body, and particularly in the evening we do want to cool that down, preparing ourselves for a restful night. And hopefully everybody's had the email now as well. So this is going to be our last Facebook Live class, our last Facebook Live practice. We're going to move onto my YouTube channel from next week. The idea is that I think a lot of people have said to me in feedback they've quite enjoyed the flexibility of having some online yoga sessions as well. And I know lots of us are really keen to get back to the York Grammar School and practice in person, which will be brilliant. I'm hopeful for some time in July. I wonder if realistically it might actually be August. My thinking around that is with the preschool sharing the same space that we do. I don't know whether they'll maybe want the preschool to finish for the summer before we can go back in. But I will keep you posted if I hear anything or what I think is happening and so on. But the idea is that these online sessions will initially be a replacement for our practices at the Old Grammar School as they have been up to now. But then going forward, they will be an option for people who either want them to supplement their practice. So, like I said before, I know some people have asked me about doing extra classes. This is an easier way for me to do extra classes while still working full time as well. So it seems to offer that bit of flexibility for people, and also realistically we are going to need to restrict numbers for social distancing for a while at the Old Grammar School, so that will mean fewer people can get into class, and as you know we get quite full, so there will be people who maybe can't book on who normally would, and also there may be people for whatever reason, work, family, COVID, are not ready to go back to a practice in person yet. So that's the idea behind them, but they will carry on even when we can all cram ourselves back into the Old Grammar School and practice together. These online sessions will still be available. If anyone hasn't had the email and would like some information, if you can drop me a message on Facebook or by email or text or WhatsApp or whatever you've got as my contact details, then I'll forward that on for you. So this will be our last live class. I'll continue putting the ones on my YouTube channel on a Wednesday evening at this time, so that until we're back in the Old Grammar School everybody can keep that regular practice if this is your yoga time. Once we're back in the Old Grammar School and I'm teaching there live on a Wednesday, then the online classes will be up every Saturday morning, so you can start your weekend with a brand new yoga practice if you want, and then they'll be there for the whole month for you to practice, and they'll keep changing. There'll always be 4 classes up on there for you to use. That feels like I've just overloaded you with tons of information now. Sorry about that. I'm not expecting you to remember it all. There's not a test at the end or anything like that. So we are going to begin. It is 6 o'clock. If you are comfortable being seated and comfortable maybe in a cross-legged position or kneeling position. I prefer to sit cross-legged for any pranayama or meditation practice. I find that the most comfortable. If you prefer to be kneeling, or like I said, you want to be on a chair, a cushion, a sofa, the edge of the bed, wherever's comfortable. And if energy is a bit low tonight, if you can lean against a wall, then that can just offer a little bit of support and help you keep a nice long spine, a nice long energy centre, even when we're feeling maybe a bit hot and lethargic. So coming into that comfortable seated position, and just give yourself these opening moments just to settle in. Just feel yourself start to connect with your body and the breath. And if it's comfortable, close your eyes or take the gaze down towards the floor so that you can draw the focus inwards. And with that inward focus, just then start to notice the connection between the body and the ground. So feel your sitting bones connecting to the floor beneath you or the seat beneath you. And at the same time, just let a gentle lift happen through the spine. So just a very gentle rising up, all the way up to the crown of the head. So it's with as little effort as possible, but we do feel like we've got that lift from root to crown. And the hands can just rest anywhere on the legs. And with the gaze down or the eyes closed, just let go of anything you don't need tonight. Just release anything from your day, any to-do lists, any plans, anything going around your mind. Just give yourself permission now to let it go. And just treat that as maybe a visualization. So as you exhale, just see yourself letting go of those things in your head that you don't need tonight for your practice. So inhaling, feeling that lift through the spine. And if you want, you can even sigh the breath away. And as you feel the exhalation flowing out of you, just feel with it any tensions, any worries flowing out of your mind and out of your body. And then at the end of the exhalation, that moment of pause, the kumbhaka, just see that as a moment of emptiness, where you've emptied yourself of worries or stresses or strains. And you're making space for the inhalation, the breath, the energy, the life force, the prana to come back into your body. So exhaling, letting go. Feeling that pause, that emptiness. And knowing that that space is ready now as you inhale to be filled with energy, warmth, lightness. Take a few more breaths like this, so breathing in fully, completely, and exhaling, letting go, releasing. One more time, breathe in deeply. Feel that energy and prana fill your body. Exhale, feel the breath flowing out of you, and with it, any remaining tensions or worries. And then without disturbing yourself, keeping the eyes closed if you can, you're just going to lower yourself down onto the back of the body. So just coming down with the knees bent, the feet flat on the floor, so you can lower yourself down into that semi-supine position. And then we're going to take some full body stretches here. So stretch the legs out, just one at a time. Hands down by the side of the body, palms face down. And as you inhale, push the toes away and lift the arms up overhead to the space behind you. Interlock the fingers when they come to the floor behind you and push the palms of the hands away from you, at the same time pushing the heels away. On the exhalation, sigh the breath away, relax the legs, bring the arms back down by the side of the body. And just take a few more with your breath. So just inhaling, I'm just demoing now as if I'm lying on the floor. Take the arms overhead, interlock the fingers, push the palms of the hands away. Exhale, relax the legs, bring the arms back down. Just working with your breath. So as you inhale, you push the toes away, you lift the arms overhead, you interlock the fingers, holding the breath inside the body if that's safe and comfortable. And then push the heels away, push the palms of the hands away. And as you exhale, relax the arms, relax the legs. Take that once more, maybe with your breath. Inhaling, lifting up, holding the breath for a moment if it's safe and it feels comfortable. Otherwise, just continue to breathe normally. And as you exhale, sigh the breath away, bringing the arms back down. And then just bending the knees, bring the feet back into the mat and take the feet to about hip distance apart. Draw the heels in towards the bottom, and then when you feel you've got the heels in as far as you can, just lift your bottom and scooch it towards your hips. So you've got as small a gap as you can between the heels and your bottom, and that helps you get more lift in the hips. So we're going to work dynamically into half bridge pose. Remember, any poses where we lift the hips and bring the weight into the shoulders, we're bringing weight into the shoulders and the neck. So keep the head looking up towards the ceiling. Don't turn the head as we're working in this position. So the arms are down by the side, palms face down. As you start to inhale, press the back of the waist into the mat so you feel that engagement and that movement that we're going to continue. Then start to lift the hips, lift the spine away from the mat. At the same time, take the arms overhead. Exhale, start to lower the spine one vertebrae at a time and bringing the arms back down slowly and with control. Again, just continue to work with your breath so you can keep the eyes closed, keep the focus inwards. As you inhale, lift the hips up, take the arms to the floor behind you. Exhaling, lowering down with control, bringing the arms back down at the same time until you bring the hips all the way back down. Taking a few more with your breath. Take those movements as slowly as you can, seeing if you can synchronize the breath and the movement. So at the end of the inhalation, your hips are as high as they want to go, your arms are on the floor behind you. And then you make the exhalation last for the whole of that movement as you lower the hips and bring the arms back down. Making your next one your last one, lifting the hips as high as you can. Exhaling slowly with control all the way back down. And then hugging the knees in over the chest. Draw the knees towards you, bring the hands onto the kneecaps and just take a few breaths into Apanasana. So as you inhale, push the knees away to arm's length. Exhale, draw the knees in towards you. Inhale. towards you. So it is a wind releasing pose. It works on the digestive system by just pressing gently on the abdominal muscles. It's also a really nice stretch for the back of the body. And it can also be a really good practice just to help us connect breath and movement. Just taking a few more. I'm still not quite out of the habit of looking to see how you're all doing as we work through this. And then making the next time you exhale the last time, draw the knees in over the body. And then just keep the legs where they are. So the lower legs are just relaxed, the knees are drawn in over the chest. And now bring the arms down by the side of the body, palms face down again. So we're going to take a similar movement as we did in the full body stretch, but this time we're going to lift the legs up towards the ceiling. So as you breathe in, take the arms up overhead, lift the soles of the feet so you're straightening the legs so the soles of the feet point up towards the ceiling. Feel the backs of the legs open. And as you exhale, you can bring the arms back down, lower the legs. Inhale, lifting up. And you can start to bring a little bit more energy into the legs each time you do it. So each time you take the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling, just start to flex the feet so you're pushing the heels away. Feel that deepen the stretch down the back of the legs. Just a few more breaths. And then the next time you exhale, just rebending the knees, bring the arms back down, and now bring the feet back into the mat. Just come into constructive rest pose for a moment. So just take the feet to the width of your mat, wider than hip distance apart, and the heels turn out, the toes turn in, so that you let the knees fall together. The arms can just be down by the side of the body. This time turn the palms and the elbow creases up towards the ceiling. Stay here for a couple of breaths. And then when you're ready, we're just going to roll over onto your right hand side. So just roll all the way over, bringing that left shoulder well over. Take a few breaths here. And then in your own time, carefully push yourself up. Let the head be the last thing to come up. Just because we've been lying down for a little while there, and coming up too quickly can make us a bit dizzy or nauseous. And then we're going to come on to hands and knees. So knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. Knees are about hip distance apart. Feel like you're in that really strong, stable box position. And then start to take a few breaths in cat-cow whenever it feels right for you. So as you inhale, you lower the abdomen and lift the chest. As you exhale, start to tuck the tailbone under, arching the spine, and then just taking the head to look underneath the body towards the belly. Inhale, lower the abdomen, lift the chest. Exhale, start to arch the spine. And once again, we're trying to synchronize breath and movement. So arriving at the fullest expression of the pose at the end of your inhalation or exhalation, and then starting to move back into the opposite pose on the opposite breath. Inhale, lower the abdomen, lift the chest. Exhale, arch the spine. Inhaling. Exhaling. And then making your next breath your last one. And at the end of the exhalation, just walk the hands back towards you so you're in a kneeling position towards the back of your mat. So we're going to take the same cat sequence that we did last week, which is again really nice for just opening up the front of the body but then stretching the back of the body as well. So you can bring your hands into prayer position. Inhale as you lift up onto the knees, so you're in a high kneeling position, and take the arms up towards the ceiling, then separate the palms and just be in a slight back bend here. As you exhale, bend the knees so you're bringing your bottom back to your heels, bring the hands down onto the mat and stretch the hands forward into Hasta Balasana. Enjoy that stretch, feel it into the arms, the side of the body, the armpits. And then on your next inhalation, come up into that box position. So bring your hands now back underneath your shoulders. You might need to draw them back a little bit. And take a couple of breaths in cat-cow. Inhaling, lowering the abdomen, lifting the chest. Exhaling, arching the spine, gaze towards the navel. Inhaling, lowering the belly. Exhaling, arching the spine. Taking one more if that's comfortable for you. And then once again, walking the hands back towards you to come back into that kneeling position. Bring the hands into prayer position at the heart center. Let's take that through again. Inhale, lift up onto a high kneeling position. Take the arms up overhead and separate the palms of the hands, taking it into a slight back bend if that's comfortable. If it feels uncomfortable in the lower back, you can stay in a more upright position, or you might want to bring the hands just to the back of the body just to support you. You can keep the chin tucked in towards the chest to keep the neck long. And on an exhalation, bring the bottom back towards the heels. Lower the hands for support and then stretch them forward away from you into Hasta Balasana. Feel that stretch down the back of the body. Let the bottom sink down towards the heels. Stretch through to the fingertips. And then inhale, lift up onto all fours and just draw the hands back so they're underneath the shoulders. Take a few breaths in cat-cow pose. Whenever you're ready, as you inhale, you lower the belly. As you exhale, you arch the spine. Inhale, lower the belly and lift the chest as if you're trying to bring it between the upper arms. Exhale, start to tuck the tailbone under, arch through the spine. And when you're in that arched position, imagine you're trying to separate the shoulder blades. Feel that space even in the upper spine. Take just a couple more breaths. And then after your next exhalation, walk the hands back. Come back into your kneeling position just once more through that little sequence. Hands into prayer position, and again, you can use this to already start to get that opening in the front body by lifting the chest towards your thumbs as they're in prayer position. Inhale, high kneeling position, lift the arms up towards the ceiling, separate the hands, slight back bend if that's comfortable. Exhale, bring the bottom back to the heels, lower the hands down for support and stretch forward into Hasta Balasana. On your next inhalation, come up onto all fours, draw the hands back underneath the shoulders, take a few breaths into cat-cow. After your next exhalation, walk the hands back towards you. Come back into that high kneeling position. Just take a couple of breaths here with the hands in prayer position. Relax the shoulders. Keep that lift through the spine. And then when you're ready, we're going to come back into Hasta Balasana. So keeping the bottom down towards the heels as much as you can. Stretch the hands forward. And then inhale, lift up onto all fours, but this time keep the hands where they are. Tuck the toes under, and then lift the bottom high up into downward facing dog. So the hips lift, the heels descend down towards the mat, the chest and the head drop between the arms, so we create that lovely stretch in the back of the body. And then from here, you're going to bring the weight into the left foot, make the right toes really light on the mat, and then on your next inhalation, lift the right toes as high as you can up towards the ceiling and start to turn to look under that right armpit. Then bend the knee in towards the bottom and see if you can lift that knee a little bit higher. Take a couple of breaths here. On your exhalation, as you turn back towards the center, bring the knee underneath the body for pigeon pose. So you start to bring that knee under, bring it towards the right wrist. Take the lower leg across your mat and push away with the left toes to start to sink the hips. So the hips move down towards the mat, that left hip moves towards the right heel. Remember, if pigeon pose isn't comfortable for you, and for lots of us, it feels uncomfortable in that front knee and we don't want that. So you're going to come onto the back of the body. I'll show you the keyhole stretch in just a moment. If pigeon pose is okay for you tonight, you can stretch the arms forward and then either bringing the elbows down and resting the forehead into the palms of the hands, or stretching the arms away and coming all the way down with the forehead on the mat. And you're just going to hold that for a few breaths. If you're coming onto the back of the body for a keyhole stretch, then come into a semi-supine position. Have the feet about hip distance apart. Bring the right knee in towards the chest and flex the right foot. Then take that right ankle onto the left thigh and keep that foot flexed. That's what protects the knee, and we make sure the movement is in the hip. You can stay there or lift the left foot away. And again, that might feel strong enough. You'll feel that stretch in the outer right hip. Or you can bring the hands around the left leg, interlocking them either at the back of the left thigh or around the left shin. And again, you're just going to hold and breathe just for a few breaths. Take another couple of breaths. And then whichever position you're in, we're going to meet back into downward facing dog. So when you're ready, if you're in pigeon pose, bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, press into the palms of the hands to lift the body away from the mat. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee, and step back into downward facing dog. If you're in keyhole stretch, just releasing the legs, roll over onto your right hand side, take a couple of breaths, and then join us in downward facing dog. Same thing on the left side. So I'm just going to switch around so I can keep looking at you as if you were there. So we're in downward facing dog. From here, weight into the right foot, make the left toes light, then lift the left foot up towards the ceiling, point the toes and start to look under your left armpit. Bend the left knee and keep turning to look under. See if you can lift that left knee higher up towards the ceiling. When you're ready, we're going to bring that left knee through for pigeon pose. So bring it under the body, take it towards the left wrist and push away with the right toes. So remembering we are different on each side. It might be that pigeon pose feels perfectly fine for you on one side, you come onto the other and it's not as comfortable. Any discomfort in the knee at all, it's just not worth it. Come onto the back of the body, being keyhole stretch. If you're in pigeon pose, again, two options here, either coming down onto the elbows, forehead into the hands, or stretch the arms forward, forehead onto the mat. And taking a few breaths here. If you're coming into keyhole stretch on this side, maybe you did on the opposite side as well, or maybe it's just this side that feels resistant. Again, you're coming back into a semi-supine position. Bring the left knee in over the chest. Flex the left foot, and it's that flexion that's really important. It keeps the knee stable. Take the left ankle onto the right thigh and encourage that knee just to move away from you first of all. That might feel enough. Or you can lift the right foot away, draw it in, and again, you'll probably already start to feel that stretching into the left hip. Hands can go at the back of the thigh, or in front of the shin, or they can stay down by the side of the body. So whichever position you're in now, just taking a few breaths here. And when you're ready to release, if you're in pigeon pose, once again bringing the hands back underneath the shoulders, pressing onto the palms of the hands to lift the body away from the mat. Tucking the back toes under, lift the back knee and step yourself back into downward facing dog. If you're in keyhole stretch, release the right foot back onto the mat, uncross the legs and just roll over onto the side of the body. Take a couple of breaths and then come all the way back up. From here, we're all going to come into box position now. So with the hands back underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, back into that box position. And then from here, we're just going to do a little bit of core work, only very briefly because it is hot and this might well make us hotter. But we're just going to engage the core slightly. So from here, keep your gaze down towards the mat, keep the back of the neck long. And then when you're ready, stretch out that right leg. So lift the right leg away from the mat, push through the right heel, have that right leg about the same height as your hips, and you can stay there, or you're going to lift the left arm and stretch the left fingertips forward. Exhale, bring the hand and the knee back down. And then from here, I keep turning around on my mat because I can't work out which the best way around is for you to be able to see clearly what I'm doing. So, from this box position, we're going to take now, I'm going to stay here, I'll be decisive. So from here, we're going to take the feet over towards the left. So you're still in this kneeling position, you just take the feet slightly over to your left. Everyone with me so far? And then you're going to stretch out the right foot. So you're on the inside of the right foot, if you will. As you stretch it out, you're starting to turn towards that right side of the body. And then see if you can plant the whole of the right foot down into your mat. So your outside edge of your foot starts to press down. Everybody with me so far? Then inhale, sweep the right arm in front of you. So you're bringing it up by the right ear and you're turning towards the long edge of your mat. So you're in a really nice, gentle, lateral stretch, opening up the right side of the body. I feel like that was quite a complicated instruction, so if everyone's still with me and you haven't overbalanced on the other side of the camera, that's good. If you're not sure, you can look at what I'm doing. Take another breath. On your next exhalation, bring that right arm back down, turn back towards your mat, and just bring your knees back underneath your hips. Come back into that box position. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So this time, just engaging the core muscles again with the left leg and the right arm this time. So from your box position, lift that left leg and push away through the left heel so that left leg is strong. Keep it about hip height, don't let it go too high or drop too far towards the floor. Remember, you can stay here or lift the right arm, stretch through the right fingertips, keep the back of the neck long, stay for a couple of breaths, then exhale, lower the hand, lower the knee. So same thing on the opposite side. This time we're taking the feet just over to the right, and you're going to stretch the left leg out behind you. So initially you'll probably feel like you're on the inside of the left foot. Then plant the whole of the foot down into the mat. So feel like you're pressing the outside edge of your foot down into the mat. You're turning towards the long edge of your mat. Your hip will have lifted and turned slightly. Then inhale, take that left arm by the left ear and turn towards the long edge of your mat. Feel that stretch, opening up the side of the body. And then when you're ready to release, exhale, lower the hand, look back towards your mat, and just bring that left knee back underneath the hip, back into box position. Take a couple of breaths into cat-cow. Inhale, lower the abdomen, lift the chest. Exhale, arch the spine. Couple more breaths here. Exhaling, arching the spine. And then just coming into Ardha Mukha Virasana, so bring the toes together. Take the knees to the width of your mat now. And then take the bottom back towards the heels. Stretch the hands forward. And because we're going to stay for a few breaths, same options as in pigeon pose. If it's better for you to have the elbows bent and the forehead in the mat, then take that position. If you want to come a little bit lower, but not all the way to the mat, you can make two fists, stack the fists and just rest the forehead there. If it feels comfortable for you tonight, you can stretch the arms away and bring the forehead all the way down onto the mat. And then take quite a few breaths here. So we've created that space between the thighs for the belly. You can inhale, feel the belly expand. Exhale, feel a gentle contraction. At the same time, feel the back of the body opening. Feel that extension through the spine. Imagine again, you can feel the shoulder blades separating, almost as if you're trying to breathe into the back of the body. So drawing the breath in between the shoulder blades as the belly expands. Exhaling, feeling that gentle contraction. Take a few more breaths here. And then when you're ready, on your next inhalation, lift the forehead, start to walk the hands back towards you. Come into an upright position. And then we're going to come down onto the back of the body. So just move your feet out of the way so you can bring your bottom back down. Have the knees bent, the feet flat into the mat, and just like we did at the start of the practice, lower yourself down gently into that semi-supine position. And then bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees fall apart into Supta Baddha Konasana. So just allow the hips to open as the knees work with gravity to move towards the floor. The hands then can either rest on the belly, or you can take them a little way away from the body with the palms face up. Or you can take the arms overhead, have the elbows bent and let the arms rest on the floor behind you. But whichever position you come into with the arms, you want to be able to feel really comfortable. So if you bring the arms overhead and the elbows don't reach the floor, you feel like they're lifting, just lower them slightly to either bring them to shoulder height or further down. And if it's comfortable for you to do so, just close the eyes and just start to once again be aware of the sensations in your body. So be aware of which parts of your body are touching the mat. Be aware of the breath as it fills your body, and follow the gentle exhalation as you breathe out. Be aware of where you feel you might have opened and released areas of the body. Be aware too of maybe any areas remaining of resistance, so not trying to change those, but maybe imagining you can direct the breath into those areas to encourage release and relaxation. Take another couple of breaths here. And then on your next inhalation, bring the knees back together. If the arms are overhead, then just bring them back down by the side of the body. And then you're going to keep the feet wide, so maybe even a little bit wider than hip distance. And then we're going to take a really gentle twist. So the arms are away from the body so that you have space. Palms and elbow creases still face up. And on your next exhalation, just let the knees fall over to the right. So the inner legs aren't together in this position. The legs are separate. You just feel that really gentle twist. And if it's comfortable, you can turn the head again, just a slight movement towards the left shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. And as you exhale, let the knees fall over to the left. So they might come towards the floor, it might not, they might not get all the way down there. Your right knee might be moving somewhere towards the left foot. And then again on an inhalation, just coming back to center. And then starting to move into whatever position you want to be in for relaxation. So you might want to stretch the legs out into Shavasana, and if that's the case, make it a wide Shavasana. So take your feet, your heels to the width of your mat. Your arms maybe a foot or more away from the side of the body. If Shavasana isn't comfortable for you tonight, if it's not the position you want to be in, you can come back into constructive rest pose or into Supta Baddha Konasana. But just finding that position that's right for you. And then starting to allow yourself to come to stillness. If it's comfortable, once again, we're going to close the eyes and just invite your mind and your body to let go now even of your practice. Just to start to release and relax. Begin to focus once again on your breathing, following your breath as it comes into your body, and again as it goes out of your body. Take 2 slow, deep breaths, observing your breath as it enters, and then again as it leaves your body. Deep breath in. Slow and gentle breath out. allow your breathing now to move back to its natural rhythm. But continue to observe the breath. So imagine that with each breath in, you're breathing in comfort and relaxation. And with each breath out, you're breathing out any remaining discomfort or worry. Bring your awareness to your shoulders. Allow them to relax a little deeper into the mat. Imagine the breath moving through your shoulders, relaxing the muscles as it touches them. And now draw your awareness to the center of your body, to that area just behind the navel. And imagine a glowing sun at the center of your body. As you breathe in, the sun expands, filling you with light and warmth. And as you exhale, the breath as it leaves your body cools you and spreads this light around your body. Breathe in. Imagine that sun at the center of your being expanding gently. And as you exhale, your breath is like a cool breeze, spreading the warmth around your body, but gently cooling and relaxing as it does so. Inhale. Feel the sun expand inside you. Exhale, imagine that gentle breeze cooling and relaxing as the sun spreads its light around you. Take a few more breaths, keeping this image in your mind. Feeling the sun at the center of your being. And allowing the exhalation to cool that sun and to spread it around your body. Start now to deepen the breath once more, breathing in through the nose, sighing the breath away through the mouth. Reach your final exhalation. As you allow the breathing to return to normal, just bring some gentle movements into the fingers and the toes. And then start to take any movements that feel instinctive, so maybe a stretch or a yawn, or drawing the knees in over the body. Starting to bring yourself back into your physical body now. And then in your own time, slowly and carefully rolling yourself over onto your right hand side. And taking a few resting breaths here. Keeping the breath slow and gentle. Following the natural rhythm of your breath. As you inhale and exhale. And then in your own time, and making sure that the head is the last thing to come up, just carefully pushing yourself up into any comfortable seated position. And allowing the hands just to rest wherever is comfortable on the legs, the knees. And on your next exhalation, just drop the chin in towards the chest. Feel that stretch to the back of the neck and the tops of the shoulders. And then bring the hands into prayer position at the heart center. And just pause for a moment in gratitude for your body, for leading you through your yoga practice, and for your mind, giving you this time to relax and release. And then when you're ready, on an inhalation, slowly, gently lifting the head and opening the eyes. Namaste. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed your practice. I hope it hasn't been too hot wherever you are, and that you feel comfortable and relaxed now. I'll just come a bit closer to the screen. So as I said, that's our last session on Facebook Live. We are moving on to the YouTube channel from next week. If anyone doesn't have the details and they'd like them, then please just get in touch with me. If anyone isn't on my mailing list and would like to be, again, you can get in touch with me. And hopefully I will continue to see you online, and even more hopefully back at the old grammar school really soon. Have a lovely week, everyone. Enjoy the sunshine. Take care.